and that is when I started having anxiety attacks, and that is when I actually found that I started being depressed. Gang, welcome back to my channel, and as promised, I'm coming back with the nursing series. So for today's video, I'll be talking about how I went through nursing school financially and emotionally. Right, so these two walk hand in hand for me. Right, so in my first year, when I initially started nursing school, I was preparing to enter into nursing school. So I was in a sixth form program. I think the program was very rich, as my guidance counselor, she guided us along the way. At first, when when myself and my friend decided to start nursing school, she gave us the opportunity to go to different like college openings and like look around and see what we liked, and basically to choose schools that we were interested in. So we had UE open day one particular day, and my course of interest ever since has been nursing, right? And I went there and I took a brochure, and I also heard about a scholarship for Jamaican students, which is the JAMVAT scholarship. So after I heard about the JAMVAT scholarship, I immediately ensured that I, signed up to get it, because of course it's a little piece of your school fee, like 30%. And like, this is one of the easiest scholarships to get. You just need a 2.50 GPA, and you just need to complete some voluntary hours. So I'm like, this is a good scholarship, like, So it basically pays just 30% of your school fee, which is good. Every mickle make a muckle. So after I applied for that scholarship, I entered into my first year of nursing school in 2016 with a friend, and I thought everything was good. I had other friends as well, but a friend at school is different from a friend that you see once in a while, right? So when I started, I didn't know how I would pay the school fee, to be honest, but my mother, she always found a way. She's not rich, but she make things happen. So what she did was to like go into partner plans, and she would work, and then I think weekly she would pay money for the partner, or every 2 weeks. I'm not sure how she did it, but she said that she was in partner plans. And basically it's like you're saving towards something, or you're saving towards a goal with a group of people. So when I went into my first year, my mother could pay the school fee with ease because she was in a relatively good job, and I think she used to do more than one job at the time. So we were able to pay the school fee. My second year, that is when things got a bit rough, because I lost my friend at the time, and then everything went downhill because my grades weren't good, and then I just wasn't like feeling it anymore. So I left the island for vacation like in May, and I sat there and like contemplated, or made a strategy of how I would actually pass the courses for my next year in nursing school, because of course in nursing school we cannot fail anything, and if we do fail, we have to sit out a whole entire year. So that was my biggest fear ever. So as you know, in second year you have clinical subjects in which you have to do a practical in order to get a grade, and that is when I started having anxiety attacks, and that is when I actually found that I started being depressed. So I lost a friend that I had, and I'm on the journey by myself. I don't have anybody to really talk to. I mean, I have my mother to talk to, but she's always tired because she does 2 jobs. By the time she come in, she don't have no use for herself. And I had a boyfriend at the time, but it was not like like a female that I needed to talk to. I needed to have a designated friend that I could confide in, or tell any little thing that is happening in my life. So I never had that. So I started going to therapy because I felt like I was depressed and I had anxiety issues. But I didn't talk about that much to the therapist because I think my main problem was that I was depressed. I was sad all the time. And at that point, I wasn't that bad, but I think it was getting in the way of me excelling in nursing school. So I went to a couple sessions with her, and she was basically saying that I need to have one friend that I actually can talk to, because that's the only way that I will relieve some of my stress. And her advice was good, and I found one specific person that I could always talk to in the class. And then I found a clique of persons that I could talk to. And y'all see me post videos with my friends all the time. They're the specific group of people that I found. I found one first, and then the rest of them follow. And it was just so coincidental that we all are friends, because we have totally different personalities. So there are certain things that I will do, like that requires a little rough up by a mother or whatever. Them are my mother, to be honest. I've been through relationships and they have given me advice, and I found that the advice is very good that they have been giving me. So, a little guide, a little, support system. Like, that's what you need throughout nursing school. You need like a person or a group of persons that will like pull you through. And that's what they have done. There's many times when I say, Chummy can't do this, I'm like, Chummy can't, but I'm gonna do the assignment, and they have said, Brit, you reached too far for turn back now. And they have pulled me through nursing school, pan them back. Yes, people, I have to say they brought me through on their backs, because in a little time them try to motivate me, even for the exam that I had the other day. So second year was good. I managed to pay off the school fee with ease, because my mother had some settlement with a property or whatever, and she got the money, so she just dedicated that money to my school fee, which was very good. And she really made a sacrifice for me, and she believed in me that I could do it, so she made the investment. Third year, this is when everything went downhill. Mark you, I'm going through depression. Yes, I have my one friend, but then the finances started to be a problem again, and that is when I started getting depressed. Because I mean, what's the point of you going to do your exam and then afterwards they're going to withdraw you from the program because your school fees aren't paid? So I basically did the work regardless, but my school fees weren't paid because my mom ended up losing her job. In my third year, I had a vision in mind, and I said, I don't want to let this be the reason I fall out of nursing school or drop out of nursing school. I'm going to find a way. I applied for 2 scholarships. I applied for the JAMVAT. I applied for the Micah Impact Scholarship, and I've been hearing about that scholarship from first year, but I wasn't eligible because my grades weren't good. So in my third year, I applied for both scholarships, hoping that I would get through, because my mother really didn't have it, and she was struggling at the time. She lost her job, was out of a job for like 2 to 3 weeks, up to a month, I think. And a lot of persons reach out to me, my lecturers reach out to me, and they helped me during that time. My mother got back her job, and I saved towards starting a business, because I saw that I really could not work in nursing school. It just didn't make any sense. I tried working my first year, never worked out. I tried working in my second year, and I ended up losing the job because I had other engagements and I wasn't awarded time to do what I wanted to do, which was unfair for me. But I just ended up leaving the job and then deciding to start my own business. The business really helped me, don't get me wrong, because at the end of the day, when my mother got another job, it wasn't as good as the one that she lost. So I still had to be trying to fill in the gap where she wasn't able to fill it in. So in my third year was the worst. Emotionally, I used to go to class and just not say anything. That is how depressed I was in my third year. I still managed to get my grades, but I was just out of it until eventually cheer up. But let me tell you something. You see, nursing school, you'll come across some very mean people, some people that won't remember where they're coming from. They'll think that they were born nurses, but trust me, when you get to the point where you can wear that white uniform, you will understand. Some of them, you see, when you do something over and over, you believe that if somebody come and make a mistake, a foolishness them I do. But I won't be that type of nurse. I did my exam the other day, and the pledge that I made to myself is that I will never be that type of person that will judge. And if a student comes to me and say I don't know, I will ensure that by the end of the day they know, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for teaching nursing students. That is what you are responsible for. Once you go into the profession, you have a responsibility to the upbringing of the new nurses coming in, right? So after I went through that rough patch in third year, we decided to go on a payment plan. So we decided to pay the school fee monthly. When it came down to my final exam, my school fees still weren't paid, and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And mommy said, I wonder if you can go get through the exam because you know pay the school fee. And I was so optimistic. I said, mommy, do not worry yourself. You know why? Because I read up about the situation, and it's basically that you will not block you from doing the exam, they'll block you from getting the results. So just ensure say the money paid before the grades are released. So mommy said, no problem, man, I think I can make it by that time, because as I said before, she's always in a partner plan. So in my third year, I passed all my courses. Don't get me wrong, I passed all my courses, even though I was going through it emotionally. I managed to pass all the courses, and then in December of third year now, mommy get back on her feet fully now. So things started looking up for me. Business was booming, everything was on par, everything alright, In my second semester, school fee pay off, everything is good, fine. So at the end of third year, going into my third semester and completing my third semester of university, I went to I went to the post office to collect some packages for my business. Mark you, I used to live at the post office. Every minute I got a post office because girl wants her goods them to sell. So I got an email on my phone from the bursar at UE. So I was saying, why the bursar texting me? Why the bursar sending me email? When I look, congratulations, you have been awarded the Micro Impact Scholarship for Nurses. I said, really? I called my mother at the same time. I said, Mommy, me get a scholarship. That is why one of the main things that you should do when you start nursing school, ensure that you keep your grades up at least at a 3.0, because that is how you're going to be eligible to get scholarships. And trust me, it doesn't matter where in the world you are, nursing is one of the most expensive courses or degrees that you can pay for out of pocket, right? So anyway, you can get the coins from, get them, honey. Okay, so I was awarded that scholarship. That scholarship was about 2,500 Canadian dollars, and trust me, that was like almost half of my school fee. Then near to December, I got an email from JAMBAT that I was approved to participate in the scholarship and do my voluntary hours. So that is another money on top of my school fee. So I don't know, say most of my school fee pay off, and that was from third year when we never depend nothing. So I looked at it and said, God goody, look how last year we never have it, and this year we get it in abundance. That's why you should always trust in God and set yourself in, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. At the end of the day, I try to not let finances bother me, but it plays a big role in you completing your studies. Imagine not being able to graduate because you owe UE money. Understand? So that was really what was depressing me afterwards, because I had the support system behind me. It's just that the finances weren't there. So after I got those two messages, I breathed a sigh of relief. I just went full speed ahead with fourth year. Fourth year, I just was on par with everything. I got my B's, I got my A's, I got C's, but no, I never got any C in third year. People, I'm going to do a comprehensive review of each year in nursing school. I'm going to ensure that I provide the grades that I got, so you can know how realistic I want to get with this channel and nursing. It's not going to be a nursing only channel, but later on I might branch off into a nursing channel, or I might just keep everything here and give nursing content and other content. Anything that I'm led to do, I will do it. But yes, people, fourth year was a good year. I'm not gonna tell you any lies, but when I got really depressed was when they told us that we won't graduate in 2020. That tore me up. Marky people, I was here by myself for 9 months, and being by myself alone was an issue to me, because I grew up with people around me. Even though I grew up as a single child or a only child, I was really lonely. So going through that by myself, I cried for days and nights, until there was a time when I think they told us that we won't be graduating in 2021, but however we'll be graduating in 2020, because the government decided to, you know, lift the restrictions for the COVID, because I think the country was on a lockdown or something like that, so we couldn't make any move, we couldn't go to the clinical area, nothing at all. So the only time when I felt better was when they said we could start to go into the clinical area full speed ahead, no breaks, no nothing. So we went every day to complete the hours in order to graduate. People, it took a toll on me mentally, but at the end of the day, I knew I had a goal in mind, and I knew I wanted to finish in 2020, so I ensured I did everything. But along the way, you will have people that will tell you things or make it seem as if you're not doing enough. As a nursing student, you are doing enough. And if you don't know something, do not beat up yourself. I tell you again, don't beat up yourself if you don't know. They themselves don't know sometimes, and they're gonna ask you because you are in school and you should know. Just don't beat up yourself too much, because that's what I used to do. And trust me, I used to come home and cry almost every day when somebody asked me something I don't know. But anyways, people, so fourth year had some difficult subjects, but I didn't let what people say determine how I would do in certain subjects. For example, I think specialized nursing was one of the difficult ones. I didn't allow it to intimidate me, because it might be difficult, but at the end of the day, if you prepare yourself enough, trust me, it won't be difficult. And another point I want to bring across is that I am willing to do tutoring services, but it's at a very low cost. I'm not gonna broke on packet. But if you really think that you need help with certain subjects, the subjects that are difficult to pass, you can hit me up over Instagram. I'm gonna have an official flyer and everything with it. I've seen persons do like tutoring services, but I will not be doing it for the full nursing course. I'll just be doing it for specific subjects that I know are difficult and are hard to pass, and that I know I'm comfortable, you know, tutoring. So if you want assistance in that area, I'll definitely provide my services to you. Just wait and see over Instagram. I'm going to be posting a flyer soon. So 4 years completed. I graduated last year. My graduation ceremony was in January, and looking back at everything, I think the whole experience changed me emotionally and mentally. I think that I need to seek help, because at one point I'll be extremely happy, and then another point I'll be like extremely sad. I've never felt that way in school before, because I never usually have to work this hard, or that hard, as I worked in nursing school. I think this is one of the hardest experiences that I've ever had, and the hardest something I ever have to work for. But remember, guys, if it is easy, everybody would do it. If it's hard, it's something that is worth going for or worth keeping. And that is another thing that kept me going. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And if it is easy, everybody would do it. And it is proven that nursing is one of the hardest degrees to get. So if you're a nursing student out there and you failed something, or you don't feel confident, please just crush it up like piece of paper and throw it to the door, because everybody's journey is different. Some people will fail and they will come right back up and graduate, because I've met persons that have failed and they graduated. Like, it's not a setback, it's just, you know, a little roadblock that you need to pass. Trust me, it's hard and you're gonna cry, but you need to just dust yourself off and try again. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. When I applied for the Micro Impact Scholarship, people, let me tell you, I did not do what was required, but a voice in my mind said, Brit, check your phone, look at the requirements. When I check back the requirements of the Micro Impact Scholarship, when I look, I'm supposed to write a 200-word essay. At the time that me reached downtown already, you know, people, because I was just in haste. When I saw that I needed to write the 200-word essay, I had to hop back on a taxi, go back to school, write the essay, and then drop it all back at the bursar. I want man to say, Brit, just try. Just try. The least they can say is no. And when I see that I was the one that got the scholarship along with somebody else, I was like, what if I never do this, or what if I never do that? Don't be the person to say what if. Do it. Complete the degree. If you haven't applied it to nursing school, apply to nursing school, because you sit down in your house and you say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. A lot of persons, I tell them that I don't take student loan, but if it was that I never have my mother to do it for me, I would definitely take a student loan and do it, because you want something for yourself. And let me tell you guys, you might not see the benefits of having a career now, but later on down the line, when you like get old and you want to receive pension, you won't have to be dependent on anybody, because at the end of the day you worked and you're gonna get something from the government. Even though it might not be a lot, but at least you can depend on something, right? So I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and just be reminded that at the end of this video, the next video in the nursing series will have a year 1 course review, including all my grades, right? Stay tuned for that video, and I hope you enjoy this one. I really love sharing with you about my nursing journey, because I think it was very rigorous. I think a lot of people need to know what we go through. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.